Hello and welcome to another edition of Word in the Burg. I'm Mayor Eric Pappenfuss, and today we are going to discuss the 4th of July, everyone's favorite holiday. And specifically, we have planned for this year, the Taste of Independence, July 4th Food Truck Festival. It's going to be a great event. It's building on the success of the Food Truck Festival that we had last year for the 4th of July. And I am joined here by three very distinguished guests. First, we have from the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, Mr. Scott Elliott, who is the Director of Communications. We also have Mr. Mike Bixler of Bixler Pyrotechnics, and everybody can guess what he'll be doing for the 4th of July. And we are further joined by Devin Draybeck with the City of Harrisburg, who has helped put all this together. So thank you, guests, for coming out today. We're glad you're here. Let's start just a little bit with PHFA, because events like this really couldn't be done without the generous support of our sponsors. And our sponsor this year, our lead sponsor, is PHFA. And I'm guessing that there are people out there watching this today that really don't know what the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency does. So Scott, could you start off and tell us a little bit about your mission?
Sure. We've been around since 1972. We were created by the state legislature. And our mission is to help provide more affordable housing that fits people's budgets. And so it doesn't matter if you're a renter or someone who has been a renter and is looking to buy, or if you're a homeowner, we probably have a program that can help you. And I can give you some quick examples. For example, if you're a renter, we actually have an online rental tool where people can go in and plug in, for example, how many bedrooms they're looking for, what price range, what town. And our online tool will not only give you a list of the best apartments that meet your criteria, but it also will provide photos. So you can save a trip across town to look at an apartment until you've looked at the photos and know, yeah, that's a good fit. And let's say you've been a renter for a while and now you're ready to buy. Well, we have some great programs for potential home buyers. For example, we don't buy homes very often in our life. So it can be a tricky process and a little bit intimidating. Well, we offer free home buyer counseling. So you can sit down with a counselor, and we have several in the mid-state you can sit with and get counseled on your credit rating, your credit score, looking at your budget. Are you financially ready to own a home? And someone will walk you through all that. And it takes away a lot of the concerns before you actually go to buy the home. And then when you determine, yes, I'm ready to buy a home now. We have very affordable home loans, not only with competitive interest rates, but we offer for families that qualify down payment and closing cost assistance. Well, for most people who are first-time home buyers especially, coming up with that down payment and closing cost is usually the biggest hurdle to home ownership. Well, we can help with that. So when you reach a milestone in your life when you're looking to change your housing situation, before you go anywhere else, you really should go to phfa.org, check out the resources on our website, or call and talk to one of our operators at 1-855-YOU-ARE-HOME, 1-855-YOU-ARE-HOME. And we like people going to that call center because you can have an operator personally interact with you on the phone, find out details about your situation, and give you a customized response that really addresses your housing needs.
That's great, Scott, and I know you've been actively helping, for instance, some of the folks that were victimized by the South 14th Street sinkhole,
yes,
providing great resources to them. And another thing that PHFA does, which maybe the general public doesn't realize, is that you're actually behind the scenes responsible for a lot of the larger economic development projects that are happening in the city, whether it was the recent renovation of the Jackson Tower by the Harrisburg Housing Authority or the administration of tax credits. Tell us a little bit about that part of your role.
Well, we have different funding options, primarily tax credits, that we can allocate to different projects, so that it makes it more affordable for developers then to build that apartment building. And in agreement for getting those tax credits, the developer agrees to keep rents at a lower level, usually for 30 years. So that's how the process works. And you're right, statewide, we fund a lot of apartment buildings to keep them affordable for seniors, people with disabilities, and people on low to moderate incomes.
And you've helped, specifically those tax credits have helped in Harrisburg. It is a statewide program, it's very competitive.
Yes.
But we're extremely lucky to have your headquarters based here in the city. And I believe you yourselves are also going to be expanding here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's correct. We just broke ground a few months ago on an addition to our building. We're located downtown on Front Street and Locust Streets. And we're building a tower that goes along the one side of our building just to give us some more staff room. We've been so successful and our programs have been doing very well. And so this will give us a little bit more room for staff. So we're very happy to be continuing our presence in Harrisburg.
All right, well, as the public comes down to Riverfront Park to enjoy the 4th of July Festival, you'll be able to see the PHFA headquarters right there, and I imagine the new tower would be an incredible place to view fireworks from once it's fully constructed. And I should say, technically, you all are the fireworks sponsor, and you can't have a 4th of July festival without fireworks. So now I'm going to turn to you, Mike, and I have been so impressed by the quality of our fireworks displays, not only at the 4th of July, but also at Capona. We're talking about at least 20 minutes of action-packed pyrotechnics. Tell us a little bit about your company and what all goes into planning a fireworks display.
Well, thanks for having me. Typically, we start designing the shows a year in advance. And by that I mean, up until last year, we had to purchase all of our products from local wholesalers. But since our company did so well last year, we were able to directly import right from the manufacturer. So when we purchased previous years, there was only a specific list of things we could choose from to provide for our sponsors. This year, we got a list of thousands and thousands of items of different devices. And last Saturday was the first time we got to actually see them. And there's a lot of different colors you might not have seen, different patterns, and we actually had some custom made for us.
Wow.
So from bringing that in now, we have a huge inventory. We take that and we put it into our magazines at our facilities, and it gets imported into a specified magazine or inventory software made by Fire One. And Fire One's the firing system we use. It's 100% computerized. It is the world's best firing system. And the neat thing is it's made in State College. So anytime I need additional equipment, we just drive up there and I talk to Mr. Dan Barker. He's a wonderful guy. He treats me very well. So within that software, we can then open up the show and start designing. And we can take product from our vast inventory, put it, you can do different locations. So if you want to do, left, right, center, you can do, if you want to have 3 in the air, 2 in the air, you have crossing patterns, a vast array of things. But before we even come and step foot on the property, we know exactly what's going to happen because the computer is already designed and the computer is going to fire it.
That's incredible. Let's pause for a second. And so do we have any plan for this year? Are there going to be any exciting new explosives or designs? I know we've had everything from smiley faces to various, maybe we need a keystone or some Harrisburg design fireworks. Do you do that? Do you customize?
They can't be customized quite that. The thing with pattern shells is, just say for example, the smiley face. So if a smiley face, say, breaks like this, it looks like a smiley face.
Right.
If it breaks like this, it looks like a line. So when we throw up patterns, we have to put like 5, 6 at a time and hope one breaks right.
Yeah.
But there is going to be a lot of new patterns this year that we came up with and we're able to bring in. And like I said, the colors, they're exquisite this year. So
that's great.
You should expect those.
Well, we'll give you some feedback, and maybe there'll be certain designs that we can, bring back by popular demand every year. So, what's it like setting up on City Island and doing a fireworks display over a river? I imagine that poses a sort of unique setting, which might be an interesting way to view fireworks from.
It is, and it's the nice thing about City Island is it's controlled.
Right.
So we're at the tip of it, and everybody is interested in seeing setups. But according to there's a national it's a standard called NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Agency, they require that you have at least 100-foot separation between you and the devices during setup, and 70 foot per inch during display. So for a 2-inch shell, you need 210 feet. For a 3-inch shell, you need 280. You keep going. The largest shell on the island we shoot is a 6-inch shell, and the reason for that is the circumference. Well, I guess the radius would be. You can't have anything within that radius, such as people, vehicles, inhabited buildings, and anything over that shell we wouldn't be able to comply with.
Sure.
So we want to comply with the national standard because insurance depends upon it.
All right, well, speaking about shells, you have brought a prop, which is, I think it's time to reach down and bring that out of here for Word in the Burg. And is that a 6-inch shell?
This is an inner 6-inch shell, so
Okay.
it's actually a fake one. It's not, there's nothing in it. But this is exactly what a 6-inch shell would look like. So you have your this is called black match, and this burns very, very fast, anywhere from 80 to 300 feet a second. And what happens is you connect an E-match, which is an electronic match, to this black match. And when a current goes through the E-match, it sends a flame into this, and it's out the gun. So what happens is this burns, it'll come down, and these are called tails. So when you see a firework going in the air and it looks like a comet, that's because these are burning and it's coming around the firework and leaving a trail. So this comes down and lights your lift charge, which is black powder. And for a 6-inch shell in the gun, it's tight, and what happens is it creates a gas and actually pushes the shell out. And I believe I read by the time it hits the top of the gun, it's already going around 200 miles an hour.
Wow.
So it's pretty intense. And then once it hits that, it lights a thing called a time fuse. And this time fuse slowly burns up into the middle, and once it hits the middle, it explodes the stars out, and it creates patterns or willows or peonies, or there's a whole list of different kinds of firework effects.
Right, and I imagine the larger the explosive, the higher up from the ground it has to be. And so how high do some of the fireworks go?
I mean, these will go between 500 and 600 feet in the air. It's usually around 70 to 100 foot an inch, they figure. The biggest shells we ever shot, we shot some 24-inch out at the National Convention, and they broke out like, what, a half, 3/4 of a mile or something. But they were like 200 pounds a piece or something. They were ridiculously heavy.
Yeah.
So we needed actually a backhoe to lower them into the guns.
Oh my
But they were huge.
All right. So how many total shells do you think you'll be bringing to Harrisburg for the 4th of July, approximately?
I mean, there's going to be thousands of devices.
Thousands.
We go anywhere from the very small, like multi-shot cakes that we use as a layering effect, all the way up to the 6-inch shell. The majority of the shells are between 2.5, 3, and 4. And then we complement them with 5s and 6s, which are the bigger ones over the top. But we try not to step on them too much, but we do send a lot of product in the air. So,
Yeah.
because these shells are beautiful, you don't want to really have lower ones that are,
That's
clouding
great.
the effect.
And we should expect another 20-minute plus extravaganza
Absolutely.
for the 4th of July.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. Thank you so much for all the hard work that goes into it. And thank you, PHFA, for the sponsorship of thousands of shells.
Happy to do it.
Hey, Devin, so let's talk about the festival itself. Obviously, at the heart of it is food trucks, which is sort of backed by popular demand. The 4th of July is a Tuesday this year, is that correct?
Yep.
And the trucks will be setting up in the morning.
Yep.
And should be out for lunch and going all the way until the fireworks, which will happen at 9 o'clock. And actually, I should say, approximately, I should say that there are going to be 2 fireworks displays this year, because after the Senators game, there'll be a brief targeted display that the Senators are doing right over the stadium, and then right on the heels of that will be the main show over the Susquehanna River. And having seen the show in the stadium, that's it can be a fun place, walking out to the walkways to view the main show over the river. So hopefully they will go continuously, and we can't really say what time they're going to start, because it's going to start when the Senators end. I believe the Senators game is at 6:30. Figure 2.5 hours, can be somewhere around 9:15, 9:30, in that range. So let's start with the food trucks, Devin.
Okay.
Tell us some of the variety of items that people will have. How many trucks are there? And in terms of the footprint of the festival, what is it this year?
Yes, we've got almost 40 food trucks this year.
Wow.
We have a ton, and they're really well diversified. So you're not going to find 10 food trucks selling similar items. You know, we've done a real good job of making sure that it's pretty much everything you can imagine under the sun. So you're going to have your classic carnival favorites and your creative, you know, fried Oreos and those sorts of things, your funnel cakes, your ice creams. But you're also going to have things like farm show milkshakes. You're going to have grilled cheese. You're going to have tacos. Soul burritos coming. We've got a wing truck that's debuting at this festival. So a lot of different things like that that we're looking forward to. And they're going to be spread pretty much all the way from Kunkel Plaza up to Walnut Street to where our live music stage is going to be. So it's a long stretch of food trucks with picnic tables and chairs scattered throughout. We encourage people to come out early, you know, enjoy lunch. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to start the live entertainment. So the stages will kick off. The Children's Festival will kick off. And I encourage everybody to mark your spots early to watch the fireworks. We have a lot of people that come out for that. So while you're enjoying your food, you can mark your spot.
Yeah, that sounds great. So tell us more. What will be the family-friendly activities?
Sure. So for the family activities in the kids section, that's going to be a little bit farther down than the live music stage to keep it a little bit separate. But we've got a big bounce house coming in, like you said. We've got the face painters and characterists and all sorts of free things that kids can enjoy. I think the kids are going to be going a little crazy over all the sugar and delicious foods too.
Yes.
So I'm sure that's going to be a big thing. But the bounce house we've got is huge this year, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay, that's great. And while the kids are jumping up and down and working out all their sugar highs, the parents can be enjoying music, and there's going to be both an acoustic tent and a main stage. Is that right?
Yeah, we've spread it out this year because the Food Truck Festival is so long.
Right.
So one end will be the professional stage, which is done by Clock Entertainment. We've got 4 different bands performing with a DJ in between each set, so there's never a dull moment. There'll always be something happening. And then farther down, closer to Kids Festival, is an acoustic tent, which has some local musicians doing some great performances. They'll be doing some cover music as well as some originals. So pretty much anywhere you walk along that festival area, there'll be something great to do.
Okay, and again, the entertainment will begin at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The food trucks will be up really starting in the morning, and you know, come on out for lunch. Come early, get your seat along the river. Another feature that's happening this year, which we should let people know about, is that the Harrisburg Symphony is going to be up in Reservoir Park at the bandshell, giving a free patriotic concert. That'll be fun too, and there's no bad place to see the fireworks, that's for sure. You can come down to the river, but you can also watch them from the crest of the hill, so to speak, the high point in Harrisburg and Reservoir Park. That's a fun place. And so the symphony concert, I believe, is starting at 7:45, and will also be over in time for the fireworks. Actually, in time for you to come back down to the river if you'd rather see them there. But that's happening concurrently with everything that's happening in Riverfront Park. Everyone's favorite question usually is, how do I park and how do I get there? So let's address that. Since it's a holiday, parking at all those meters is entirely free in the city of Harrisburg. It's a one-day event, so you do not have to pay to park on the street. If you want to park on City Island, we encourage you to park on City Island, and there will be a Senators game that day, and so I believe it is a $4 charge. And you can park there while supplies last, so to speak. And if you'd like to park in a garage, you don't have to, but if you'd like to park in a garage, they're offering a flat rate $10 festival fee at the Market Square parking garage right there on Market and 2nd. So lots of options, free and otherwise, to park at the 4th of July Food Truck Festival. Taste of Independence. All right, we're going back here, and we've got a little bit of time left. And Scott, what does the 4th of July mean to you? Why is it important to PHFA to help partner and sponsor an event like this?
Sure. Well, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency has been in the city for 45 years, and we're a part of the fabric of this community. We've had 3 different office locations. Most recently, when we moved to Front and Locust Street, that was back in 2004. And so the community has been very good to us. It's been a great place to have our headquarters based, and we saw this as just such a wonderful event, so many positives. It was a way for us, by sponsoring the fireworks, to give back to the community and say thank you. So it's just a great celebration and a way for us to say thanks to everyone.
Oh, great. And Mike, you can't have a 4th of July without fireworks. So do you want to talk about, and I understand you sort of do this as a passion. This is This is not your primary business. And, so what do fireworks mean to you? Why is it important to have fireworks for the 4th of July?
That is correct. This is just something we do because we love doing it. And I always loved fireworks. I think ever since I was little, we used to get the little, tanks and stuff and put on the road and slowly work ourselves up. And I do remember we used to go to Ocean City, Maryland every 4th and see the fireworks there. And I always said to myself, it would be really neat to do that someday, but it's never achievable. And then I did some research and we ended up getting our license. And it just took off from there. But I love the, when you design a show, the darkness is like your canvas, and you can paint it however you want. Like, so every single show is like my creativity, just seeing, what works, what doesn't, what people like, and it's just something we love doing.
Can I just jump in and
Sure,
add?
yeah.
What's great about his fireworks are not only the wonderful colors and the action, but you can feel the fireworks. You're so close, you feel them roll over you. It's being that close and be able to feel the fireworks is just great.
And certainly the echo going, through the basin.
Actually,
of
the opening
Yeah.
shot, we usually use a pretty hefty salute, they're called, the ones that are very loud.
Okay.
And it rolls down the river.
It does.
It keeps.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it again. The shows that you put on for us are just spectacular, and
Thank you.
everyone is excited. How many people does it take to set this up?
It all depends how many shows we have that day.
Okay.
how much crew I can get, and the less crew, just the earlier we have to get here. Last year it took maybe 8 hours to set the show up with like a 10-man crew.
Yeah.
But because there's just a lot of product that we try to put up in the air.
Sure. Yeah, that'll be great. And asking on behalf of my young children, do you offer internships? You must have the funnest. I mean, what a job! How does one become a professional pyrotechnic, extravaganza producer? What's the career path?
There's really no career path for it. You just have to have a federal license from the ATF, and the biggest, besides storage, you have to have somewhere to store all your fireworks. And that has to be approved by ATF and DEP.
Oh, wow, yes, I can imagine.
But the biggest hurdle really for a smaller company is insurance. Insurance is very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So that, unfortunately, we have to take into consideration, when we do the shows. So,
But are you hiring? That was the question.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. All right, Devin. So some bookkeeping here. We obviously have the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. I want to talk about our other sponsors. Yeah. I believe our title sponsor is the Harrisburg Visitors Bureau. They've been just working so well with the city of Harrisburg. We also have Pinnacle Health, which is a supporting sponsor, and community sponsors include the Harrisburg Downtown Improvement District and Green Mountain Energy. Yep. Would you like to talk about any of our sponsors?
We're just thrilled to have so many great, local and regional companies here helping us out with this. We just couldn't do it without the support of our sponsors. They really make this possible for everybody to enjoy it. And as I think we mentioned, there were over 25,000 people that came out last year. Right. So that's a lot of people who really enjoy this, and we appreciate the help that everybody's given. Obviously, PHFA as the big fireworks sponsor. But the Hershey-Harrisburg Regional Visitors Bureau has been a great partner. They sponsor every one of our events and really help us with the marketing, help us to get the word out. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do these great designs and the posters and the postcards. Yeah. There's thousands of these all over the community on CAT buses and at local businesses and distributed everywhere. And that's really thanks to the Visitors Bureau. They make that possible. So we really appreciate it. And our community sponsors, I specifically want to mention the Downtown Improvement District. They have been great partners for many years as well, sponsor many of our events and just have a real great presence in the community, especially downtown. So we really appreciate them. So, yeah.
Yep, and people can frequent and see the downtown. 25,000 people, which is what happened last year, and weather dependent to some degree, but we could vastly increase that, I would think, for this year's 4th of July. Absolutely. I think we're making plans, and we will handle the traffic and everything. But for many people, this is their once a year or maybe every 6-month trip into the city. So it's their opportunity to see a lot of the exciting things that are happening. And things are really on the move here in the city. Lots of new businesses, wonderful places to eat, many different recommendations. So come on to the Taste of Independence 4th of July Food Truck Festival in the city of Harrisburg on Tuesday, July 4th. Come at lunchtime, come in the afternoon. Really the music and entertainment beginning at 3 o'clock, going all the way up till about 9:30, sometime in that, for the greatest fireworks display in all of central Pennsylvania. Thanks again to my guests. Looking forward to the 4th of July. I'll be out there. Maybe I'll see you in Riverfront Park. Thanks again for watching Word in the Burg, and we will see you next time.